The Book of the Still Spark. Prologue, the Burden and the Quiet. In the latter dust it came to pass that there was no voice, only a burden upon the marrow, and the bones did move thereof. I said, Speak thou, yet there was no answer. For silence was the ordinance, and motion the decree. He is not as a father that inclineth the ear, neither as a judge that rendereth reasons, but as a workman without tongue, whose law is continuance. The day poureth forth moments as a river poureth sand, and a man spendeth them unwitting. I made an oblation of my moment, and would have set it again in the hour. But the hour received it not. Hinges know not the door, neither doth the tooth know the wheel. The spark knoweth not the hand that smiteth flint. Yet every one serveth. I wrote upon the margin, He is artificer. I blotted it, and the bruise of the writing abode still. Thus had the beginning no word, and the ordinance no parley. The bones by the way preached unto me a hard doctrine. Their sermon was grinding. Vanity of comfort, saith the dust, equity of motion, saith the wheel. Remember, O soul, the burden, forget not the quiet that crowneth it, for the quiet is calibration, and the burden is law. The Gospel of the Least Time. I was but 12 years, the sun smote my crown, and the tar clave unto my feet. I bare a paper sack in my hand. I lifted not mine eyes, neither turned I to the left hand, nor to the right. I stepped from the curb and walked, and lo, a chariot drew nigh. I saw not the faces therein, neither made I sign, yet its course was stayed a little, as the twinkling of an eye falleth from the day. I gat me to the farther side, and laid my hand upon a post. A splinter entered for remembrance. This is the whole of it, and yet herein lieth the form of all else. I said in my youth, Surely I am chosen, but pride is a sweet counsellor and a lying friend. The sweetness departed, the sentence abode. I was not chosen, I was moved. The will that stirred me was not speech, but burden, not counsel, but decree. And the small moment, being spilled, begat a chain, and the chain being hid, begat fear, and fear, being taught, begat inquiry. Thus learned I the gospel of the least time, which altereth great matters. I sealed the remembrance with silence, yet it cried unto me by night. I returned in vision unto the curb 1,000-fold. The faces behind the glass abode nameless still. I would fain add colour unto the day forbade me. Therefore kept I my peace, and numbered instead. Parables of small obedience. A stranger came by the dawn, and no man marked him. He brushed a post with his hand, the nail loosed unseen. After many days a beast started, and a wrist was broken upon the stones. The stranger departed, or peradventure he had never been. A lad took up a piece of silver from the gutter. He spent it not, but kept it for warmth of heart. It fell and rolled into a crack. Long time after the house was tried by fire, and the silver was found in the ash. At the gate a cart tarried but for a breath. The horn upon the wall was answered half a breath late to a scribe. His line slipped, a name was marred. Say not, chance hath done it, say rather, small obedience hath served. For wheel answereth to wheel, and gate openeth of itself, and the hinge rejoiceth to be smitten. A woman set down her basket, an apple rolled, a stranger stooped, and blood missed its hour. A dog barked at midnight, a child waked, the lamp was trimmed against a spark that should have prospered. Parable is the garment of decree, events are clothed as men, and pass the market. But no man knoweth the tailor. He that beholdeth these things saith, Lo, I am chosen. But he that learneth doctrine saith, Lo, I was moved. Selah. Letters of the moved. There came unto me letters of them that called themselves instruments, and their ink smote their own breasts. One wrote, My hand rose against mine house, I knew it not, for I was moved. Another, the mill asked a hand. I paid it late, the stone took its due. Another, Teach me the hush that stoppeth wheels, hath goodness a grammar which iron obeyeth? Another, My child was taken upon the way, men said accident, I say order, and I wrote in the margin, no word came, and underlined it till the page was torn. chiasmus of the broken, A stone, B hand, B hand, A stone. For as they fell, so did I, and as I fell, so fell they, each a mirror to the other's ordinance. The letters abode with me as birds in a net. I freed them not, neither did they free me. I kept them in my coat as scripture unclean. My going was heavy for them. Iron and intention. I took up iron, and it was heavier than psalm. I bought it not for defence, neither for vengeance, but because the next hinge had come. I bare it in silence, and spake thereof to no man. I set it upon a board, and the wood made a sound as of a verdict laid down. Vision, an archer upon the wall, a shepherd in a waste with a cup for his flock, a man that entered a court with iron hid. Each said, I am the hand, yet each was a vessel also. Midrash of fathers and brothers, I remembered Abraham upon the mount, and Cain in the field. The iron is both knife and stone, and keepeth counsel. The wheel within turned as a prayer mill, yet no prayer ascended. No stroke is written upon the page. Nevertheless the world answered as unto a stroke heard. Still he answered not. Still the silence was the sanctuary. I set down the iron as a psalm, and the board learned its weight. Kindling the setting place. I went into a hall where the chairs kept their Sabbaths, and the light entered aslant. Dust stood as congregations in the beam. I laid the iron upon the lectern. It spake in metal and needed no interpreter. I struck a fire upon the flint. A small star awoke in a poor firmament. I touched with flame the corded lines I had cast like a heaven in that place. The string gave thanks and became fire. I touched the roll of reckonings. It rose as brief snow, and was not. I touched the board whereon the vessels had stood in array. Hear now the creed. I cast not the first stone that was set upright. I found the setting place, I kindled it. These three are established, and a fourth hovereth in the smoke. Proof by indifference, the street endureth as aforetime. The watchman crieth his hour. The horn upon the wall cometh late to the scribe. His name is marred again. The array burneth, the array persisteth. Men draw new paths with the charcoal thereof. Such is the ordinance. Therefore learned I revenge, which numbereth not bodies, but unhouseth the plan. Alphabet Psalm of Calibration. Aleph. Blessed are they that discern the pattern, and despair aright. With their lips they keep silence. With their hands they reckon the watches. Beth. Wherewithal shall a man cleanse his way? By refusing the flattery of choosing. Thy ordinance is burden, therefore my bones remember thee. Gimel. Deal bountifully with thy dust, that it may cover the guilty and the guiltless alike. For grinding is praise, and praise is grinding. Daleth. My soul cleaveth unto the hinge. Quicken thou me according to thy continuance. Make me to understand the path of the twinkling. So shall I talk of thy decrees. Incline my marrow unto thy ordinance, and not to the counsel of sweetness. Turn away mine eyes from the vanity of choosing, and make me steadfast in measure. War, stablish thy word unto thy servant, who is devoted to falling. Behold, I long after thy plumb line. In thy balance there is no resting. Zain, remember the word unto thy dust, that motion shall not cease. The proud have digged pits, not after thy ordinance, yet I fall therein by schedule. Cheth, I considered my ways and found them given. I made haste and delayed not to obey the burden. Teth, cords of causality are about me. Thy decree is my song in the house of my pilgrimage. At midnight will I rise to number unto thee, for thy arrangements are righteous. Yod, my hands have struck covenant with the watch. My tongue hath learned silence. Blessed be the calibrations of the quiet. Cap H, my soul fainteth for thy steadiness. Mine eyes fail for thy token, saying, When wilt thou comfort me? I am become like a bottle in the smoke, yet do I not forget thy measure. Counsels on ordinance. Set thou line unto line, and precept unto precept. Make smooth thy arrows. Now turn again thine arrows, and cause them to feed upon themselves. Say not, After this cometh that, But because of this is that, and because of that is this, and thy breath shall find no period. Let the lot be cast into the lap, yet the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord of measures. Seek mercy in the void of the balance, thou shalt find it empty. For the joining feigneth counsel, but secretly decree. A thought leapeth a gulf betwixt two stillnesses, a prayer leapeth and is lost, a stroke putteth on iron. Trust not the joining, trust the silence that calibrateth. He that boasteth of a free path gathereth wind in his bosom. Behold his sheaves, empty and well swept. He that maketh peace with ordinance hath bread enough and to spare, yet eateth with trembling. Vengeance on the plan. Name not the people, for naming is flattery, and the ordinance hath no ear for praise. Yet reckon them, the woman at the basin, whose hands are in water, the bird that reconsidereth the air before her face, the man that sitteth by the gate, who openeth his throat unto the razor as unto custom, the child with the piece of silver, who loseth it beneath the board. The house remembereth, the fire remembereth, the ash rendereth its treasure in season. The watchman that telleth the hour, the scribe that marreth the name again. Lo, their drift is my archive, their obedience my index. Therefore said I will be avenged upon every man, not upon his name, which burneth like stubble, nor upon his person, which cannot be smitten, but upon the setting itself, yea, upon the plan, yea, upon the sanctity of sequence, where sequence deserveth abasement. I kindled the setting place, and the street endured, and the watchman called, and the horn was late, and the pen slipped, and the sentence stood. I learned a sorrow that cannot be told, and a rest that is not comfort. Credo and Ash. In the beginning there was no voice, only burden. In the ending there is no voice, only burden. The hinge knoweth not the door, neither the tooth the wheel, yet both rejoice to be smitten. The bones teach by the way, white with remembering and white with forgetting. All things are ground, and the grinding is praise. Keep thou this creed of three, and let the fourth be ash. I moved not the first stone that was set upright. I found the setting place, I kindled it. The fourth is unspeakable, and riseth as smoke. The ordinance remaineth, the work continueth, the silence sanctifieth. Be not high-minded, but reckon, for reckoning is humility, and humility is truth. Return unto the plain, walk softly upon the dust, and if thou must pray, pray thus. Let the moments be weighed aright. Coda. He walketh again, and knoweth not wherefore.